Hi, and welcome everybody to the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. My name is Ross Benjamin. I'm your host. It is Wednesday, December the 20th, 5 days until Christmas, folks. Get your shopping in if you haven't done it already. But in any event, I'm here with my two colleagues, as usual, on a Wednesday morning, Mr. Jesse Schule and Sean Higgs. By the way, these two gentlemen will be joining me tomorrow morning as well. Because we're a little shorthanded this week. For those of you who haven't watched lately, Doug is out. Doug Upstone from DocSports.com. He's been hospitalized. He's going through a surgery. So prayers and thoughts go out to him and his family. We hope he makes a speedy recovery. And Chip has had some issues as well with his health. And the boys are picking up the slack. And I appreciate that very much. Jesse, how are you, my friend?
Well, Ross, if that UTSA game didn't come in last night, that would have ruined my appetite for any further bowl betting. But that salvaged a day for me, and I feel pretty good. I went to the gym this morning, had a good meal for dinner, and I guess dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you not aware, all three of us had UTSA yesterday. I didn't put it in until the morning, and I thought I got a great number at 10.5 as compared to where it was 13 or 13.5. And boy, oh boy, Sean, then it came down to 7, and I was scratching my head. What's this move all about?
As I'm doing like write-ups because I think I had a 13.5 on Gambler's World side. I think I had 12 on another side. Because the lines change pretty fast. And I'm doing these things. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I'm saying, well, we've seen now these line moves. I got this game going today. The quarterback an hour before the game decides not to play. We saw a crazy line move in the Western Kentucky game yesterday. And I said, in the little right, I said, is this because people are waking up the morning of saying, oh, my goodness, nobody's playing today and are pounding a team a la Old Dominion? Is it guys they're in a portal, but that doesn't mean they're not playing. So you don't know until literally that day if people are going to, which is like we talked about yesterday. Chip Kelly, oh, you're in portal? Adios, amigo. You want to, play a little game like, I got a girlfriend, but, what's out there? Let me see what else I could find. Nah, it don't work like that. Take a hike, Mike. Get out of here. I don't need that nonsense.
After last night, I'm not sure that we know anything about who's going to play for bowl games.
The guy's been hurt the whole time. There's not a peep about that anyway.
No,
I'm in Texas.
And then they tell us that he fractured his shoulder against Tulane in their regular season finale. There was nothing leading up to the game that led us to believe that was going to be an issue.
The line kept going up. It started at 7, 8, 9, and went up to 12, 13.
Yeah, that was because of all the Marshall opt-outs, And like I was telling you guys off air, a friend of mine calls and says, Ross, you still like UTSA? They've went all the way down to 7.5. And I said, I got to believe that's because this guy who's been unpopular, the Marshall head coach, with the fan base, decided he was going to let some of these transfer portal opt-outs play. Because the only guy I could foresee at that particular moment in time that would be worth 4 points was the UTSA quarterback.
Yep.
And sure enough, I mean, they tell us an hour beforehand that's the case. It's this is why I think the NCAA is the most corrupt organization in all of the land. They want 1% of the betting revenue. They were totally opposed to sports betting on their sports. And then all of a sudden, when they got cut in with the 1% revenue and saw how much that could add up to in a multi-billion-dollar business, they're all in. Yeah, but then they don't want to be transparent.
And just imagine if you're a fan and you pay big money for these tickets to the bowl game. Yep. You get in your SUV, you take the kids and the wife to Frisco, and you get a hotel room, and you're going to blow a couple grand on the whole thing. And then you get there and Frank Harris isn't playing, and your team hypothetically, your team gets blown out. You're going to be pissed. You're not going to be wanting to go to a bowl game next year. That's for sure.
Well, I was pissed when the news came, when I realized after I turned the game on that was the case. And then I did not see that coming. I don't think any of us did. And then this kid, this Owen McCown, the son of Josh McCown, He comes out and throws 2 interceptions in the first 8 minutes, one inside his own 10-yard line, and we're down 14-0. Then I was really fit to be tied. But you know what? It all worked out, guys. We come back, we win the game going away 35-17, and not without a sweat. The last play of the game ended on the 4-yard line.
Not only that, there was like 4 seconds left. I thought they were going to let him run another play. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to lose like this with 3 seconds. They're going to stop this. But then I was like, you know what? They're not going to stop it because the final number was like a touchdown. So they figured that the total, it's out the window. They don't care about what the number was opener or midweek.
It worked out well because I was waiting for Marshall to call a timeout with 4 seconds to go on the 4. And then I had 10.5, but I still could have got burned because if they scored a touchdown, what do they have to lose? They're probably going to go for 2, right? So oh boy. Anyway, if you go to gamblersworld.net, which is our sponsor right now, we're running our 12 days, not 12 days of Christmas, but 12 days of savings, which correlates with the 12 days of Christmas. And it's day 8. And we have a special every day. And today it's buy any single pick and get 100% credit for the next day. So that doesn't apply to subscription plans, but it does apply to any one of us that puts out a single game package today. If you buy that pick, you'll get a credit for the automatically, win or lose. So you want to take advantage of that offer. College football bowl special, still $2.99. We lowered it yesterday. And congratulations, all of you who were smart enough to take advantage of that offer, but it's now $2.99, and we still got plenty of bowl action to go, folks. We got over somewhere around 33 bowl games left on the slate, so $2.99 will get you the entire bowl package for any handicapper, or if you want to make it plural, handicappers, $2.99 a piece, and you'll get our personal guarantee. If you don't win, you don't make a profit, then we will credit your account back the exact amount of money you purchased. Okay. All right. We got 3 bowl games we're going to talk about today. Jesse's going to talk about the Arizona-Oklahoma matchup that goes on Thursday the 28th, 9:15 p.m. Eastern time. It's the Alamo Bowl. Right now, Arizona is a 3-point favorite, and the total is 62.5. Jesse, Arizona really finished the year strong. They're in the top 25. Oklahoma, we know Dylan Gabriel went into the transfer portal and already transferred, I believe, to Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. And anyway, take it away, my friend. Tell us what you think about this one.
Yeah, I'll pick up where we left off yesterday, talking about motivation for these games, teams that had higher aspirations. And I think Oklahoma fits into that category. They would have expected to be the Big 12 champions at the very least. And they didn't get there. A disappointing end of the season for Oklahoma. They had their ups and downs. Of course, they were high on that win over Texas in the Red River game. And Arizona, of course, closes out the season with 6 straight wins. Surprises everybody because at the beginning of the year, nobody really expected Arizona to be very good. But all the credit goes to Jedd Fisch for turning things around there. The future looks bright in Arizona. Not so much in Oklahoma. Of course, Dylan Gabriel's gone to Oregon. Their best offensive lineman's also out in the portal. Not sure where he's landed, but and another receiver's in the portal. Quite a few players in the portal for Oklahoma. Arizona, they got a couple players in the portal, but Noah Fafita will play quarterback for Arizona, and he was excellent this year. And Jackson Arnold will play quarterback for Oklahoma. Highly touted, highly recruited, played well. And I've seen people reference, look at his stats. He looked good during the regular season. I know that he's talented and he was highly recruited, but I'm not going to read anything into his stats because when you dig a little bit deeper, he played mop-up duty in games that were already out of hand. Five wins, comes in when the games are already out of hand. That's meaningless football, in my opinion. So whatever those numbers tell you, forget about that. The kid's probably pretty good, and he's getting a chance to showcase what he can do. But with a lot of the top players opting out, he's going to be playing behind offensive line, missing some pieces. And I just don't see any reason for the rest of the team to get up for this game. Arizona should be the more motivated team. -3. I'll take the -3.
All right, Arizona, like Jesse said, they finished the year on a 6-game win streak, covering 5 of those 6 games. As a matter of fact, this is an Arizona team this year. They were 9-3 straight up, and also 10-2 against the spread. So they've been a moneymaker. And Sean, an interesting thing when we talk about the transfer portal is in past years, if you went into the transfer portal before NIL came into play, you went into the transfer portal with the sole intention of you weren't happy at the program you were with, and you were going to go elsewhere for a better opportunity. It's not an exact science, but that the majority of the time that was the case. Now, just because you entered a transfer portal doesn't mean the kid doesn't want to play. He's entering the transfer portal because he wants to feel out who might have interest in him, meaning other programs, what the prospects of playing time are at other programs, and then more importantly, why they get into the transfer portal now, but they are undecided if they're going to leave the school or not, is they're feeling out the feel out process for who's going to offer them NIL money. Terrible. So it's a whole different thing that we have to account for.
Yeah. Well, I said that at the beginning, like Chip. I mean, with Chip Kelly's thing.
Yeah.
Leave. It's just bad for. First of all, it's bad for the player. So now I'm going to transfer every year, and then you get a 6-year eligible. I mean, you're not developing anywhere. Who gets to see you? Who gets to see you? You're not developing. You think the quarterback in the NFL are bad now? Just wait till the rest of every position goes down a notch because guys want to hop around. You can't do that.
Yeah.
There's very few superstars on that level. Like guys who are just doesn't make a difference. I could go play wherever, and I'm going to be super. What percentage is that of your LeBrons or Tyreek Hills or Wanda, whoever in any sport? I mean, like that's not everybody. That's nothing. That 99% of the people aren't like that. You can't just hop around into a system and think you're going to be good.
No,
it's gonna have ramifications down the road. You see it now with the NFL.
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
But it's all about money, right? And the bottom line is, Sean, unfortunately for us and for the fans out there, and whether it be sports bettors or just the casual fans that root for a team, these guys, in many instances, will be offered an NIL deal that will be more than a rookie deal in the NFL.
Which is fine. So stay at the school then. Stay at school.
That's the positive, I guess.
I don't think you should listen. You want to go like your junior and senior year. I think you should be able to jump when you're a junior. If you want to leave then, I get it, because at that point you've played in a system for 2 years, and you're going to know if you're going to be in that system, and they could bump it up or whatever. I just don't think every year you just get to go freshman. I'm opting out here. I didn't get a lot of playing time. I'm going to leave. Well,
yeah. Well, that was the case all the time before, but now it's the point where you're a starter, and you know what? You're at Marshall and you're a starter, but I still want to play, but I'm going into the transfer portal.
But those guys who said they're going to leave actually left. It wasn't like, I'm just going to see if I get something else and hold you hostage because you got to pay me or somebody else is going to pay me.
Yeah.
Totally different.
So, it's a quandary.
This is the whole show. We can do this. You think the Friday show is going to be an hour and a half? We're going to talk about this. It'll be 5 hours long because it's
absolutely. Anyway, Jesse, tell the folks a little bit about why they should spend their hard-earned money with you, and anything you want to brief them on going into this week, what you may have coming up in the bowl season, or anything you could foresee in the NFL this weekend, because we'll have games on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
All right. Well, I was 9-1 with top-rated NFL picks this season until that debacle on Monday Night Football with the Eagles. So now 9-2, which doesn't sound nearly as good. I do have top plays this weekend. I got one on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. College basketball. I've got a game of the week today. It's a money line play, and that is significant because over the last decade, I have hit 66% of my money line college basketball plays for a profit of 60 dimes over a few hundred plays. The single most profitable situational bet that I make as far as sides, totals, sport, college basketball money line, 66% over a decade. And that putting that to the test tonight. And I got a 3-pack of NBA. And think the results haven't been fantastic over the last 3-4 days, but feeling pretty good about where we are heading into tonight's action.
Yeah, 9-2 is still pretty good, by the way, Jesse. I know that it was. I know what you're trying to say because that game was right there for the taking. You had a lead with less than 2 minutes to go, and you allow a backup quarterback to take a team down the field 92 yards to get beat.
9-2 is still pretty good, Ross, but tell that to the guy who hit me up in the DMs after he bought the game of the year, and he wasn't happy. So,
Yeah, well, you know what?
9-2 is not good in here. It's not good.
Listen, like I said yesterday when we discussed this topic with Paul Bovey, it's, timing is everything. We don't win every day. We don't hit every big play. We hit a high percentage of them when it comes to big plays, and it depends on when you jump in. That's why, shame on you if you don't know that. I mean, if you're jumping around from handicapper to handicapper and you're seeing, let me see who's hot right now. Okay, he's hot. Let me jump on him. It's a matter of time. If a guy's on a 70% run, in most instances, that's going to cool off. It's just the reality, So, in any event, let's get to the next game at hand. Sean is going to be looking at Louisville and USC. We know that Caleb Williams, whatever. Again, I get criticized for how I pronounce names, but it's not meant with any disrespect, folks. Caleb Williams, okay? Louisville and USC right now. Louisville's a 7.5-point favorite. The total here is 57.5. USC been terrible defensively all year, not without their starting quarterback. Louisville vastly overachieved this year, but they dropped their last 2 games of the year. So what do you got?
Yeah, as Jesse was alluding to with Arizona being a motivated squad here, how about USC as a motivated team? I mean, what Williams out, running back out, top wide receiver out, or number 2 wide receiver out. Your defense has been a mess. New coordinator comes in. You poached him from UCLA. I'm going to go under the total here. USC might have other NFL type guys coming to fill in here, but you have a backup quarterback, because their other quarterback just hit that 5-star recruit, just hit the portal. He left. So you got another guy in here who's supposed to be good, but we'll see what happens. And Louisville's defense was pretty good for the first half of the year. I know, 16-6 against Florida State in the championship game against a backup quarterback. Now, do I think it'll be 16-6 this game with that USC defense? Maybe not. I think we'll see a little more points there because Louisville's, I think their top running back he declared for the draft. He's out. Their leading receiver is also not playing. But you're going to get a heavy dose of the run here. I think Louisville defense is solid. USC's offense a little banged up. I'm just going to go under. I mean, you look at the squads. Louisville total overachievers. I have an under Louisville win ticket. Didn't get there. They beat 7 bowl teams. USC beat 2 bowl teams. But again, who are you beating? Boston College. You think's really good. Notre Dame in a good spot. Yeah, Notre Dame in a good spot. I don't know if they're as good as that win.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under, play it safe. I got a lot of stud position kind of skill position guys out. I got one team that's a really good defense. It's been pretty solid most of the year. I'm going under.
Yeah, this number jumped out at me, meaning the 57, to Sean's point, Jesse, because I only say that because USC's been horrible defensively all year. And, Lincoln Riley, whether he be at Oklahoma or USC, this has been an ongoing trend. His teams score a lot of points. Yep, he recruits a lot of offensive firepower, but his teams also can't stop anybody, especially against really good competition. So what's your take on this one, Jesse?
I looked into this one thinking that I was going to take Louisville for the motivational reasons, but I got a little bit concerned when I started looking at the guy that's going to play quarterback here, Miller Moss, because it is his 3rd year with USC. He's got into games in all 3 seasons that he's played. He's played pretty well, but I already said, when you're playing in mop-up duty, you can't really read too much into those stats. But, I mean, no picks, 72% completions, don't read into it too much, but at least he's not turning the ball over. It looks like a good situation for him to showcase what he can do. As I said about Jackson Dart, does that mean they're going to score a bunch of points or win the game? I'm not sure about that. I'd want to get some clarification about who's going to be playing offensive line and some of the other skill positions. But it looked to me like this kid has an opportunity to, surprise if he put himself on the map here. And he looks like the kind of kid that might be capable of doing so. I would be shocked if the backup quarterback at USC wasn't pretty good.
Yeah, well, usually when you get these Power 5 conference teams, again, we could look at and say, okay, there's a lot of guys out on the transfer portal. But by the same token, these teams, especially when they're in the top 20 in recruiting every year, which USC is, it speaks to the depth of the team as well, because you can't have, there's going to be a lot of 4-star players and 3-star players that are on the bench. They're not good enough to start at that particular moment.
And when it's a Lincoln Riley team, you probably want to back the backup quarterback rather than the backup safety.
Yeah, exactly right.
I did think about USC in a points here because I'm like, how do you lay an 8 with Louisville over just talent alone?
Yeah,
they're going to have the guys, but I feel like it's just going to be it's still one team has a defense and the other teams has no defense, but their best players are out on the offensive side of the ball for the other side.
Yeah, and we spoke about this yesterday morning. The Pac-12, top to bottom, extremely balanced and strong conference. You got a team like California that was in a bowl game.
That's what makes that 8 so crazy. An 8.
Yeah. So, but anyway, our official pick here from Sean Higgs is he likes this game to go under the total of 57.5. So there you have it. Louisville, USC under 57.5. Sean, tell the folks. I know that you have a lot of early action going on right now. You had a lot of games posted last week, and some of those haven't even been played yet. So tell the folks what you got coming up. And you're on a nice run in both college football and the NFL. So fill them in.
That's it. I think I have 20 bowl games still posted at the site there. So if you're looking for long term, getting down early, we've talked about it here. It has its pros and cons, but I do that myself, and it's paid off during the regular season. We'll see how it does during bowl season. So far, I've split out, and that's even based on crazy line moves. That's just a bad game. I had Boise and the under there against UCLA. Sometimes it doesn't go. The chips don't fall. But college hoops, all right. I had a winning night last night. I'm happy about that. Hopefully we'll get that on track. We're moving in the right direction there. Hockey and NBA, again, sporadic, but check it out. It's crunch time here in NFL, right? Last couple weeks, and it's bowl season, so I'll have you covered a bunch of games for you.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what Sean uses in college basketball, and he's looking for value. He's not looking at these Power 5 or Power Conference teams all the time. He's looking for value sometimes in these smaller conferences. I mean, yesterday, for example, he had Cornell minus 13 over Siena. He had Western Carolina, an upset winner at Vanderbilt. Southern Utah +4 over Montana State. UTSA minus 13. That was the college football. Western Kentucky +4 over Cal Baptist. All winners.
Central Connecticut State. You left out the best one. Central Connecticut State.
They lost, though. They didn't cover. Yeah, so
they lost. Yeah, I think they lost by half. They didn't lose by 4.
Yeah, 5. And then he had Binghamton too as well.
Another 1-point loser
against Niagara. Oh. Yeah. So there you have it. I mean, that's why he does well. I mean, he finds a lot of value in those types of games. And
I think people want to run to Baylor, Duke today, North Carolina, and I like North Carolina today, and I sort of like Duke over Baylor. Those lines are good. We talk about it in college football. Those lines are going to be so tight when you have the blue bloods and the top 5, top 10s. They're on the money. Everybody knows everything about that school. You got to find the little edge in the smaller programs,
and got to be willing to do it. You know what I mean? And again, some of you out there will say, I don't know anything about those teams. Well, we do. That's why people pay us. That's why we've been doing this full time for a long time. So again, Sean has done awfully well. And when it comes,
and the best part is that now that's legal everywhere. All these small schools before it was tough getting down on all these added games. Yeah. Now they're just considered Some of these schools are in rotation now.
Well, it was tough getting down on those added games prior to everything becoming legal because the local bookmakers
who the heck's this?
that they get very little action on those games, and they couldn't offset the money if they got if somebody came in, one of their big players came in with a heavy bet on a small school, they had nowhere to offset it. You know what I mean? So there wasn't anybody else probably going to bet on that game. And
they're probably also not making a lot of money off guys that are betting those games, because if you're betting those games, you probably have a bit of a clue what you're doing, and you're probably not donating that much to the bookmaker.
That's absolutely.
I remember early with the you have your local guy calling in. I'm like, hey, you got Eastern Washington, and they're like, what for basketball? Like, what are you talking about, man? Just major conferences. That's it.
Yeah, I know. I've been there, done that, saw that, and
they don't know the struggle. These new kids coming in 900 same game parlays and
yeah. Anyway, all right, let me get to my game, and that's the game between Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. And right now, Texas A&M is a 2-point favorite. It's the Texas Bowl. It's being played in at NRG Stadium in Houston, where the Texans play. And the total in this game is 53, and that's going to be where my emphasis is going to be, is on this total. So when you look at these two teams, Oklahoma State has just been brutal defensively. I mean, they've had a decent year, okay? They got to the Big 12 championship game, but their defense over the last 4 games, for example, 39.5 points per game and close to 500 yards per contest they allowed. They're the 10th worst defense in college football when it comes to yards allowed per game. Their offense, on the other hand, they started out very slow, but they came around near in the last 8 games of the year. They averaged 33 points per contest. Also, keep in mind when they catch a low total, and that's in their particular instance 58 or less. They've gone over the total in the last 5 when there's been a total of 58 or less. In those games, they averaged 71.4 points per game. Now, A&M offensively, they struggled at times, and then other times they were very good. I mean, over the last 5 games, team averaged just a shade under 37 points per game and 409 yards per contest. Of course, their starting quarterback opted out. He's in the portal. But I'm going to go back again. Texas A&M, when Jimbo Fisher was there, he recruited top 20 classes a lot. They'd have a ton of players that went into the portal, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But also, this is a Texas A&M team that's gone over the total in 3 straight games now, leading into the bowl contest when facing FBS competition. They went under in 1 game in their last 4, and that was against Abilene Christian, who plays at the FCS level. Their defense, like I said, has been depleted by the portal, and I'm just going to depend on the fact that Oklahoma State can't stop anybody, and whoever A&M is going to bring in on the offensive side of the ball is going to be they probably have pretty good quality depth. And again, I'm really going down early on this game. I'm going with Oklahoma State, Texas A&M over 53. And folks, I could tell you this. These are games that are assigned to us, so keep that in mind. As opposed to Jesse and Sean, I am not a guy who gets down real early, okay? Real early meaning 4 or 5 days before a game goes in college football or the NFL. Now in this bowl season, I'll give you an example. I put out UTSA yesterday morning and got 10.5. I thought I had a great number with that. And then I was even more pissed when I went to 7.5, and for the reasons that we discussed at the top of the show. So I'm a little different when it comes to the style of which I handicap and which I put out games. But in any event, it works for all 3 of us. We all have our own methods, and all 3 of us have proven over the test of time that we make money. All right, I went 2-0 yesterday with UTSA, like I alluded to. I also had the Golden State Warriors plus points, plus 5.5, actually, over the Boston Celtics. They won the game outright in overtime. College football now 72-51 since December 2nd of last year. That's good for 59%. My bowl picks, 15-7 since last year. That's good for 68%. With my 2-0 yesterday, it improves my all sports record to 212 and 151, which is good for 58%. That's all since August the 4th. And folks, dime players during that course of time with me, they've made a net profit of $45,910. That's, again, at this point, folks, it's over 4 months. So it's not a fluke. NBA sides, I told you I hit the Golden State Warriors yesterday, 58 and 25, 70% since April 11th of this year. And that goes back to last season, obviously. And when I say NBA sides, it's the point spread picks and the money line picks. Now, before you get concerned and say, well, you know, you got a high percentage. What are you giving out? Minus 170, minus 180. These guys know me and my customers know me and our viewers know me. I never give out more than minus 135. On occasion, it'll approach 140, but very rarely. College basketball on the 13 and 6 and 42 and 29 runs. In the NFL since week 2, 52 and 35, good for 60%, coming off a 5-2 week this past week. So there you have it. That's the reasons why you should spend money with me over at gamblersworld.net. And I am number 1 overall since the site's inception. And yes,
fixed.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. So before you say that, you might want to check all the other sites I'm on, because that record will correlate exactly during that course of time. Not exactly. There might be,
but it's the same.
Right, exactly. So there you have it. Jesse Schule, Sean Higgs, Ross Benjamin. We're going to make you some money, folks. You got to invest a little to make a lot. That's the bottom line. And we've told you how we've done of late, what our track history is. And again, we do this for a living. These free picks are nice, but folks, we do this for, you know, like I said, I mean, you have to pay once in a while instead of complaining about a free pick that doesn't win. If you lose a pay pick, you got the right to complain. Okay. And free picks, look, we want to hit all of them, but at the end of the day, like I said, these are assigned games. We might use 1 or 2 of these games during the course of the week on our premium package, but at the end of the day, there's probably a very small percentage of these plays we give out as free picks is on our premium side. So if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. Hit that black subscribe button underneath the video box if you're watching on your smart TV or you're watching on your mobile device. If you're on your PC, just hit that WC logo in the bottom right-hand corner. That will get you subscribed. And the best part about it, everybody likes free, right? So it's absolutely free to be privy to these podcasts that go 6 times a week with some of the best handicappers in the country, including us 3. And make sure you check out, again, our website and gamblersworld.net. And there's 7 other great handicappers there, including ourselves. So in any event, Jesse, there's a like button right underneath. What would you like them to do with that?
Smash that like button.
All right. Smash that like button, folks. It's a small token of your appreciation for the time, work, and effort that we put into giving you a quality podcast. And our theme has always been, will continue to be going forward. And I don't care if you watch this show 365 days a year. We want to make you a smarter sports bettor today than you were yesterday. Till the next time, for Sean Higgs and Jesse Schule and Ross Benjamin, all 3 of us will be back tomorrow morning. We'll be talking NFL at that particular moment in time. Take care and God bless. And by the way, folks, Merry Christmas from all of us at the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. Take care now.